So welcome back to Sorare Wakey Academy here on YouTube, and today I'm going to start looking at my top 10 European under-23s by position. So we'll do a little series now where we do the whole positions as like an SO11, so 11 players on the pitch at one time, and I'm going to do them by position, like my left back, my right back, two centre backs. We'll do like, I don't know, 3 midfielders and 3 forwards. And I might even do it different. I might do like a few more, so I might do an attacking midfielder, I might do defensive midfielder, so it might be more than 11, but in the end of the series, I'll have my best 11, my favourite players in each position, and I'll make a formation out of it. So we'll see how it goes. We're going to start off today with left backs, and if you're new to the channel, then you'll see here, you can find me on Discord. I'm not on there that often, but you'll also find me on Twitter, where I'm always on basically. You can DM me on there, or get hold of me on Discord, I will answer back. And of course, if you've seen this channel before, then thank you for watching and subscribing. If you haven't, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and you get more and more of my content basically. Now today in fact, I was looking back at my old videos of when I was picking teams that, players that would be good for this year. I was just looking back over them to see how they're getting on, and they've done okay. A lot of them have done alright. I have favourite players still, as you're about to see, and they all seem to have done okay up to now. But I've got a few new ones in this list as well, and I'm going to do it as a top 10, working my way down from number 10 all the way to number 1, my favourite player at the moment. That doesn't mean he's the best player on SO5 or the best player on Sorare itself. It's just who I like, and for no other reason than I like them. Obviously they've got something about them if I do like them, but it's going to be different from your choices, what I'm trying to say. I'd like to see your choices from 10 to 1 for your European under-23 left backs. That's all we're doing, left backs. And that could include wing backs as well, or even a centre back that sometimes plays at left back. So we'll crack on with that right now, starting with number 10. Tyrol Malakia, or Malakia. Now plays for Manchester United. I used to love this guy when he was at Feyenoord, and I thought he'd be a really good player until he went to the Premier League. And we sort of thought, is he going to make it there or not? He went to United when Luke Shaw was sort of out of form as well, and I thought he would have made that position his own, but he hasn't. He's sort of not really even in and out the team. He's just out the team basically. You can get him now for £6.70. I still think once he breaks through, if he can get Shaw out of the way, which is hard because Shaw's playing quite well again, but I think Malakia could be a really good left back for him. But if he doesn't break through this season, I can see him moving on again, hopefully back to the Netherlands, maybe into Belgium, something like that. But Malakia, I really like this player, full of energy. You can see the prices on him here now. He's down to like the £6 or £7 mark. Has been quite high in the past. I've done it as 1 month because when you go to 3 months and 6 months, it's just like one big straight line. So the price hasn't been that high, but I remember going back. Let's go back a year then, shall we? Yeah, it was up here about £200 or so. I'm sure I bought him at around this sort of mark, £200 at one time. But he's back down here now, really, really cheap. But that's because he's not getting any games. So that's Tyrol Malakia, my number 10. Number 9. Luca Traore, Borussia Mönchengladbach at the moment. I quite like their side. They've got some decent players there, especially young ones. And Nets has been getting sort of game time at left back and right back, I think. We'll go down and have a look at his SO5 scores. You can get him for like £11 now, which is, I think, quite cheap. I was once paying like 50, 60 quid for him. He's not quite pushed onto that place he should be. And you see in the last year, this is a year, was it all of his scores? It's his whole scores. And again, DNP's all over the place. But he does play well. He's hitting the 70s and 80s, but he just doesn't do it enough. And you see he's been at left back, as well as all the substitute appearances. But last year he did quite well, I think. Left wing back, left midfield, left back. And then he moved over to right back as well at some time, from what I remember. I can't see it here at the moment. I'm sure he also went in at right back and filled in there. But he's always a substitute. But I think a big talent for the future. And just another one that is yet to break through. So could make a bit of money on him. But that's my number 9, Luca Traore. Number 8. Meyer, currently at Club Bruges, is a left back. He does get forward quite a lot. They've got him also as like a left wing back as well, I would imagine. But £11 is his sort of average price. You paid anything from £11 to £15 basically. What can we say about him? He's not like the best left back in the world, but he had a spell where he was really good. And we'll have a look at his overall scores. And you can see here, I mean, 60s, 70s, getting them quite a lot, but he's also hitting a lot of 30s down here. So it's whether you want that chance of him hitting that big score suddenly. And playing at left midfield in his last game then against Benfica, did they lose 5-1? They lost 5-1. He scored a goal. He also got, I can't remember what they had, a clearance off the line. Playing left midfield, losing 5-1 and still hitting a 70. It was pretty decent, but look at his all-round score, -2. The game before that, a -3. So he's got a lot of improvement still needed. He has had quite a few good games along the way, but again, he's so erratic with the performances. He had quite some good form there at left midfield then, but a bit erratic, but I think coming through and still one of my favourite players then. So that is Beyond Meyer down at number 8. Number 7, Destiny Adji, or Yadogi. Good average score of 53, basically across the board from L5, 15 and 40. Decent player. He's down as a defender. I'm sure he started out as a left back, but he's playing midfield or sort of wing back again at the moment for Udinese. Now, is he the Tottenham guy? I think he's on loan, is he? I can't remember if he's on loan or not. However, currently playing at Udinese in Syria, and we'll have a look at his scores as well then. And is this all of his scores? Let's have a look at his whole scores of all time then. And again, you see he's capable of hitting the hundreds. You see up here in the hundreds and the 97s and not doing it enough. And there's a little blimp here of 19. He scored 19 when I don't know what happened now. Let's have a look down here. They lost 3-1 to Inter and he hit 19. A -16 for his all-round score. But then 2 games later, look, he hit a 50 as his all-time score. All-around score, sorry. So, in general, I think a good player, still learning his trade, and I think will get better and better. Does like to score, does like to get some assists in that games as well. So that is my number 7, Destiny Yadogi. Number 6, Honzo Davies, massive L5 score of 71, so not very good for the cap games. However, his last 40 of 58, and last 15 of 57 as well. He's his last 15 of 57, it's okay for cap, but you're not going to get many of them, probably 270. But really on form at the moment, banging it at the moment, really on fire. You'll see his price is £96. Now it's gone up slightly, I think, because of the form that he's in at the moment. And you'll see here, look at this now, 60, 70, 60, 70, 81 and 75. I mean, banging it, absolutely smashing it. Has played sort of left back and left midfield. He does like to get forward as much as he can, and it's just unstoppable like this. I think they've been resting him as well in a few of the games, so possibly not getting full 90s in these. He has in them last sort of 78 in that one there. A couple of substitute performances as well. So as I say, he's still young, but what an engine this guy's got in him. Hell of a lot of money though, but he is my number 6, and I really like him. Really one to watch out for, but everybody knows him now. Number 5, Fabiano Ospina then makes the top 5, under 23 till 2025. Averaging scores are not doing that well at the moment, but again, he's a young lad. As I say, he's going to be a bit inconsistent maybe. He's only £16 floor price, £13 for his 3-day average. His scores then are still pretty good, I think. We look down here, just lately sort of on off the boil a little bit, but still hit a 70 then in his last match. But you see up here he's hitting 70s and 80s quite regularly as well. But now he's sort of coming back down to earth with a few 40s, 48s now. But for his age, I think this is really good scoring. Apart from that game there, we'll just ignore that one at 6. But I think with a bit more push and a bit more experience, this guy really will start to shine before long. And he's made my top 5 then. Fabiano Ospina, who plays for Empoli in Syria. Number 4, Adrian Truffert, who plays for Rennes, or Rennes, whatever you want to call him, in League 1 in France. He is an under 23. He's only 21 years old, so he's utility till 2026. Decent L5, quite low in the L15 and L40, so as I say, he's still learning, still young enough to improve that by a long way. £15 at the moment, £16 for floor price, and if you look at his scores down here, you see he does hit these greens quite a lot. Now I've got him in my stack for Rennes. I'm going to call him Rennes because that's what I call him. My Rennes stack, he plays in that, I've only had him for like 2 weeks, but he's done okay in each one of them, hitting a 63 and a 48. I was hoping he's going to hit these 90s again, but he's not quite been hitting that form just yet. Does play left back for them most of the time. Has played as a wing back and a midfielder once or twice and had good games. But it's a decent left back, and I like him there as well. I like him playing there. Will he get a move soon? I don't really know. He's still only too young at the moment, so let's hope he just keeps pushing on for rent at the moment and see if he can improve on what he's doing right now. So that is Adrian from Oren. Number 3. Now we get into the top 3, and a few of you might look at Vindel and think, you know, this guy's off form. He's not as good as some guys have got at the club at the moment. But I still think, and I'll always say this, I think Vindel is a future Dutch captain. Once he gets his confidence in this side, where he's had to sit for a while as a substitute, you know, trying to push the guys out of the way, and centre backs have been playing in that position, so that's how out of form he was. But he's starting to settle in now. He's only £15. I can't believe this. And I mentioned this on Twitter the other day, that window was £15. Someone brought it to my attention. I went straight out and bought him. As I say, not been great this season, but I think he will start to really show why he's got in the Dutch national side and why Ajax have gone and bought him. He was brilliant for AZ, captain for AZ as well. But he's still under 23 until July next season. So quite a lot of room in the tank yet. And look at his scores. Let's have a look down here and we'll see how bad he's been recently then, playing for these. And you can see he's been hitting the 40s and the 50s. Wasn't great. But if we go back all the way to here where he's playing at AZ, or AZ, whatever you want to call him, look at this. Look at the scores here, the hundreds and the 70s and 80s. He's hitting them quite regular. Then he had that bit of was it an injury he had, I think? And just wasn't playing. And now he's coming back. He's hit an 86 and a 61 recently. So starting to show himself again. Look at this, he's got a 50 there. It was all round score. Granted, it was against Sparta Rotterdam. However, it was a decent score, and I thought he might just change there and now be hitting big scores all the time. But then he got 21 against Vitesse. But definitely one of my top 3 players. And I used to have him as my number 1. He's down to number 3 at the moment because I've got 2 others that are ahead of him that are really decent. So that's Owen Windle, number 3. Number 2. Now then, this guy is quite new to me. Hartman. I was doing some scouting a while back and I saw him and I thought he's got some really good scores there. I call him Quincy Hartman, but he's actually called Quillin. 21. He's got under 23 utility till 2026. L5 of 45 and an L15 of 55. So a bit of form at the moment compared to his last, his overall 15 games. His last 5 games have been a little bit down on that. Price has gone down slightly. Look, he's at £23 now for his floor price, 21 for his average. Now that shows that he's gone up slightly in price, but his people probably just been greedy for him, just to get as much money as they can. But this is his overall scores then. You can see he was sort of unknown. He played a couple of games and that. Then was DMP and all of it. And then suddenly he came as a sub, I think, in this game. And then started to play well. Got a 94, a 46. Then they dropped him. Then he hit 100. Then a 63. Then an 83. And I thought, wow, this guy's looking quite good. Decent left back. Does like an assist here and there. Has scored 100. Capable of hundreds quite easily because of the squad that he's playing in at the moment. Who always do quite well. And I just really like him. And for just over 20 quid, for an under 21, I think he's decent. I really like him. So that's my number 2 then, Hartman from Feyenoord in the Eredivisie. Number 1. My new favourite left back of the moment then is Milos Kirk, or Kikez, whatever you want to say. Plays for AZ Alkmaar. Really like this lad. Come on the scene last year, I think it was, with a few games here and there. He looked fantastic, didn't he? It was Vindel's replacement, so that's why he's now above Vindel in my listings. £26, that's his floor and his last 3-day average. Love the guy, really gets forward, he likes to get a few assists here and there. And I want to see his scores. Let's just have a look at his scores then over the last, we'll look at all of them. We'll have a look at everything that he's done since coming on the platform then. And you'll see here 70s. That's sort of his score, isn't it? 65 to 70s. Had a bit of a blip down here when he's hitting 40s and things. Doesn't get too many 20s, there's 3 of them on that in total there. But 76, 16 and 51. He's 51 tonight then, playing at left back against, I call him Groningen, but we'll call him Carnigan even though. So Carnigan, suppose that's the Dutch way of saying it. Sorry to all you Dutch guys, Dutch is not great. But he does like an assist, he likes a goal as well. So, my favourite player, look, 4 goals, 8 assists then, in them 42 games. Brilliant, he gets a good all-round score most of the time, apart from now when he got 13, but he still managed to get a goal, so he hit 16 total. I just love him. I think he's going to be a real big, yeah, he's definitely going to be a real good left back for Hungary, I think he plays for. Yeah, for Hungary. One to watch out for. A lot of you will probably know him already because he's starting to make a name for himself. But that is my top 10 then. Let's have a look at the watch list I've created here then, just for these top 10. So I'm going to call these, in this series now, there'll be a number of watch lists. This is my Euro under 23 left backs. Obviously the next one will be right backs and centre backs, so on and so on. And I'll leave them all up here so you can see them. I'll make them public so you can all see them. But again, going down the list, and there's the 10. You see the floor and the price. So I haven't gone for the top ones at the top prices. It's just the guys that I like and the guys I would pick first for my first likes. Like Kirk has his second there. Davies is meant to be like the top guy price wise, although on my list he's down in 6th place. So it's just who I like. It's just my opinions. So if you've got a better 10 or you like 10 different ones, let's have a look at them, see if I've heard of them before. But it's got to be European, remember, so challenger or champion, and they've got to be under 23. And let's see in the comments below who's got the best under 23s and the best top 10. And obviously I'll disagree because I think mine's best. But it's just nice to see someone with different opinions and why they like them. Okay, so thank you for watching that. Like I said before, hit that like button. It really does help the channel to move up the listings so it gets seen more. Subscribe if you haven't already. When we hit that 600 subscribers, we will do another giveaway. And we'll do one every 100, so 700, 800, 900 and a big 1,000. That's when we celebrate big time. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next one when we do the right backs.